Test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to the heart of Manila, Rizal Memorial Coliseum, which has hosted 4 days so far, actually 3 days so far, of the 2024 AVC Challenge Cup for women. So we entered day number 4. It has been a great 3 days here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum for all of the teams. And day 4 promises to be an explosive one, as you see the teams of Indonesia and Kazakhstan make their way to the venue as we prepare for their game. Earlier today, the first game for day number 4 was a 3-set win between Hong Kong and Singapore. Now, as we mentioned, Indonesia and Kazakhstan coming up, an explosive one in Australia versus India a little later on, and the Philippines will see day 3 action for them. They will go up against Iran. Good afternoon, Philippines. Thank you very much for watching us on One Sports Plus, and of course on the Pilipinas Live app. I am Boom Gonzalez. My good friend Mela Tuna is here for day 4, game number 2. Para sa day number 4.
I'm very excited. This is just a short tournament, but every game just really gives thrill to all the Filipino fans, and we're up for another exciting match between Indonesia and Kazakhstan this time.
All right, so even the Filipino fans who have showed up for the other games too, Mela, because they appreciate volleyball from our neighbors. And speaking of neighbors, no stranger to us are the Indonesian teams. Of course, they were in the finals of last year's AVC. Tell me about this very young Indonesian team that they're fielding in.
Well, you did mention that the lineup is young, although at first they were planning to field in their national team players, but because of some conflicts with the Pro Liga League, we have star players in Sabrina, Putri Agustin, Santi, Rara, Rizkamara, and other younger players mixed from their youth national team joining here in the AVC 2024, and we've seen a lot of potential from their team, and we can still expect them to pose a threat in this pool.
And definitely they are looking towards the future also, just as they should, as they gear up for more competition. They're going to go up against the Kazakhstan team, which is also 1-1, and we'll give you, of course, the update of our standings. But Mela, tell us about this Kazakhs team, which is at 1-1, as I mentioned.
Well, in terms of lineup, they have a more veteran lineup, more experienced players. Especially, you see 34-year-old team captain there, Anar Kulova. She has been with the national team since 2010. You also see very talented middle blockers in Yakimova, Anikonova, and in terms of rankings, also they lead against Indonesia. They are currently number 33 in FIVB world rankings, but also making them the league's highest ranked team.
All right, this is the best player so far for this Indonesian team that you said is a mix, but more so of youth and a little bit of experience, as they're probably also doing the same thing that we're doing for this tournament, no, Mela?
That's right. Very reminiscent of what we've been trying to pull off since, I think, 2021. Right. But talking about Indonesia, we see their highlight player, Junaida Santi, with 12 points against Singapore. She started off the season with 6 points against Hong Kong. She's a very young player, 16 years old, but she had a better game in their last match against Singapore, doubling her initial output against Singapore.
And then this was the player that you mentioned earlier, so far dominant for them, as they have split their assignment so far here in the AVC Challenge Cup?
Well, we've already mentioned about her experience, and also since she's the team captain, she really leads by example, and that's how we saw her play against Vietnam. Although they lost in 4 sets, but she did explode with 21 points from 20 attacks, 1 block against Vietnam.
So volleyball fans, especially international volleyball fans, know that face, know that name very well for the team of Kazakhstan. All right, let's give you an update of what has happened here in Pool B. The Philippines, of course, is on the other side at Pool A, and we'll talk about them later. But so far, as expected, Vietnam is lording it over.
That's right, as they are the defending champions, and they have been stacking up wins also, and in straight set fashion, 4-set fashion. So they've been gaining as much points as they can to lead in Pool B.
But we're also highlighting this because we're also making sure that people understand this is a very important match for Kazakhstan and Indonesia, because they're still in play going into our crossover semifinals, Mela.
Well, for sure. And, after losing to Vietnam last game, I'm sure they would like to pull off another win here again against Indonesia.
To make themselves 2-1 in Pool B. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with that matchup between
Rizal Memorial Coliseum, Manila, Philippines, for day number 4 of the AVC Challenge Cup 2024 Women's Division. This is match number 14 of the tournament, the preliminary round match of Pool B between the national teams of Indonesia and their opponents across the court, Kazakhstan. Introducing our 2 international referees in charge of match 14. First referee is Mahinder Singh Saharan from India. Our second referee is George Chalup from Australia. And now let's meet the starters. First, for Indonesia. Opposite hitter number 4, team captain Bella Agustina. Middle blocker number 2, Rara Tegariani. Middle blocker number 6, Fanny Chayaningtias. Outside spiker number 18, Putri Agustin. Outside spiker number 20, Junaida Santi. And center number 22, Rara Rizkamara. Starting libero number 24, Hawa Nur Fitria. Head coach for Indonesia is Pedro Lilipali. Calling on the starters of Kazakhstan. Outside spiker number 2, team captain Sana Anarkulova. Outside spiker number 4, Zana Siroyeskina. Middle blocker number 7, Yulia Yakimova. Opposite hitter number 17, Margarita Belchenko. Middle blocker number 18, Kristina Anikunova. And center number 99, Irina Kuznetsova. Starting libero number 22, Sabira Pekisheva. Head coach for Kazakhstan is Rishad Gilyazutinov.
Here you are, the starting lineup para sa Team Indonesia, last year's finalists in the 2023 AVC Challenge Cup. And Kazakhstan, in the meantime, of course, with their team captain, Anarkulova, we already mentioned it. Their setter would be Kuznetsova. Those are the main players, some familiar faces for those who follow international volleyball. A veteran already, Sana Anarkulova. This is match number 14, match number 2 for day 4, match 14 for the tournament. Expect also an explosive matchup, Mela, in that Australia-India match, and not only because of the way they played in the tournament, but also because the stakes. They're still in play for our crossover semifinals. While Vietnam is ahead so far on one side, Philippines, to the delight of the home crowd, is up 2-0 with a chance to be 3-0 tonight.
Excited to see not just the skill sets of these teams, of these players, but also their character when it comes to the urgency that they need, especially we're approaching the latter part of the eliminations.
Yeah, we take a break after Sunday. We break on Monday, and then we come back with the semifinals on Tuesday and the finals on Wednesday. 1-1 so far. Some giveaways from both sides. That's number 7, Yakimova, sending it out.
Well, one thing we've also noticed in the past game days, the teams who really get to minimize their errors have been having better results here in the tournament.
Ace! Courtesy of the very young Indonesian team. That is Santi.
We did feature her earlier during the pre-game, and Indonesians like to call her the future of Indonesian volleyball, as you see the potential and the talent of this young lady.
A lot of parallels, no, partner. I'm only talking about this tournament with what Indonesia is doing, what the Philippines is doing, and also some of them from their own club tournament, some of ours from a very own club tournament also. So there are some parallels there, right. And that's where they're going in terms of the direction.
And I guess in recent years also, we've been sending different versions of national team,
right.
But by far for Indonesia and Philippines, these are two, if not the youngest lineup that they have bannered so far. And we see the teams playing without pressure, and that is why they get to fare with more veteran teams like Kazakhstan.
And as always, this is all part of experience gathering. Even Gia, our own captain, did say, but they're looking long-term. Not just short-term in the tournament. In the meantime, rally ongoing. And a nice outside hit there by number 4. Very tricky name, Sioreshkina.
Well, we want to see on the side of Kazakhstan how the outside hitters will play better in this game, because in their last match against Vietnam, it was the middles who actually scored along with Anarkolova. On the other side, Indonesia naman, all the wing hitters are the ones who played impressive in their last game and medyo limited scoring from their middles.
Back-to-back points for Sioreshkina. Kazakhstan serving to Indonesia here. Getting it through the block. Sioreshkina off the rebound. Open for Indonesia. Back to Sioreshkina, who puts it away through the gap in that block.
3 consecutive points from Sioreshkina. She's been on fire since she's started to get set by their setter, making the most out of every opportunity.
It's received there by Santi. Ad-lib play, good dig. The one hand, the giveaway to Team Indonesia. Rara. Oop. Went over the line there. That was pretty obvious.
You see that she had the right intention because there was a donut hole in the middle of the Kazakhstan defense, but that unforced error will be called on Santi.
(6-4) Kazakhstan. From the back, Arkulova rolls it over to the other side. Dig pass. Chance and a giveaway again for Kazakhstan. Running attack will bounce out. That is number 18, Anikonova, in a slide play.
A couple of off-speed attempts from both squads, but that ended with that off-the-block hit by Anikonova.
16-year-old Santi receiving. Sioreshkina, tough angle there. Tries to cut it to the front line of the other side.
2-point ball game, but so far Indonesia keeping close with the errors given away by Kazakhstan.
That's going to be wide. Service out for Rara.
You see the frustration out from the youngsters' face. You know that this is how they learn also. No? These kinds of tournaments will add up to their character
definitely.
as players.
That's also out. Couple of giveaways from the start, actually. These two teams giving away some balls from the service area. And that's why, you know, even when it comes to our team, guys like Fifi and Panique, and, you know, we're getting valuable experience as first-timers in the team. Canino, of course, in the seniors.
Well,
as this block breaker.
We don't see her acting like this is her first time in the
all.
national team, looking so experienced.
With the leadership, of course, of Gia and Dawn there. Very much experienced in international competition. In the meantime, here, Kazakhstan versus Indonesia is at 9-6. Reverse from behind. That's a bullet fired by number 17, Belchenko, Margarita Belchenko.
A lot of options have been working for Kazakhstan. The setter could just go to anyone. They've been delivering so far. So in terms of attack efficiency, Kazakhstan has the upper hand against Indonesia right now.
Ooh, misreceived. Now, we might expect a timeout. Yes, we are going to get a timeout from Pedro Lilipali.
Kita jangan ragu-ragu ya, tetap pede ya. Oke, untuk blok pinggir-pinggir. Jangan terlalu ke dalam, pukulannya pinggir dia. Ya, kecuali kalau bola nggak nyampe. Oke, receive dulu. Ya, receive dulu main. Bertahan berani ya. Ayo, jangan sampai ketinggalan jauh. Oke ya.
Indonesia.
Furious timeout by Coach Pedro Lilipali, as his team is down by its biggest margin right now, 11-6. And we continue on with Kristina Anikonova. Nice dig there. Reverse. Oh no, that's a back row push.
Drop ball Zana, Siriashina.
Siriakshina having a couple of points already under her name here in the first set, and so far everything she's tried had worked. In the front line, she's had through the blocks, off the block attacks. She even had an ace, and this time that back row attack. Indonesia will also counter with that Putri Agustin through the block hit.
7 serving 12 here in the first set of match number 2. Kazakhstan lording it over on offense here.
8 points already in terms of attacks, and one only for Indonesia.
That was the first one, the one earlier, right, from Putri Agustin.
And when you try to observe their setting, they're really heavily reliant on the open hitter, the outside hitter, that's right. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan's been having a lot of options. Like we did mention earlier, they've set to a running attack already, a couple of back row hits.
Good first ball, but miscommunication on that one. Indonesia tries to score, but denied, but a taller Kazakh team.
And again, you don't even see the blockers of Kazakhstan guarding the middle anymore from Indonesia.
You're right.
They go to block against outside hitter very early on. And for sure, they did their viewing also, and a lot of the sets have been going to Santi. They're even targeting her on the service line.
Still good, still playable. Counter attack, and no blockers available for Indonesia. And Kazakhstan with its biggest lead at 6.
Santi failing to mark that the spiker was in the front row. She was actually ready to block any middle play, leaving Belchenko with a wide open area.
Nice toss there. That's a great set by Rara, given up to, is that Sabrina, if I'm not mistaken?
That's Sabrina with her first point. She did score 15 points against Singapore, but her first point actually could be helpful, no? Because finally the blockers would have more people to guard. They're also stacking up on points after that service ace by Indonesia.
Other thing that would be helpful are 3 points, of course. This one courtesy of Fanny, Eka Jafani. Two-point run here by Team Indonesia. That's out.
A lot of sets have been going to Siro Yeshikna. But that time, it'll be a free point given to Indonesia.
That's a 3-0 run, partner. So Kazakhstan calls a timeout.
Будьте готовы к тому, что может укоротить. Для укорочения нужно повнимательнее, ты больше ответственно сделать. И опять же, если выбили, не выбили, чтобы вот эти свои ошибки в аут у нас не было. Катанить на ту сторону, предыдущий момент вкатил, накатило, все, этот мяч упал. Хорошо? Усложнили дальше.
That is Coach Rishat from Kazakhstan trying to prevent this run to go any further. They were down, or actually they were up by 6. Now only by 3. As Fanny sends it out.
Timeout. It's going to work for Kazakhstan, breaking the momentum of Fanny on the service line.
Now serving team captain Sana Anarkulova.
15-11. It is team captain Anarkulova doing the honors. From the back row. It's the first time, I think, Mela, that they went to the pipe. That one will be low, though, for number 18, Putri Agustin.
Clearly, the Indonesian team is having a hard time with their attacks. Well, we can also see the disparity and the advantage of Kazakhstan when it comes to height, and so they get a lot of block touches. But this time, Santi will make something out of that set, going through the block yet again.
Santi receives. They've been pounding her for the serve. This time, she is able to come up with a block breaker there through the hands.
Very simple but efficient transition play for Santi.
Open. And they go back to Shoreshkina.
Sana Siroyeskina.
Siroshkina just having a heyday with her offense today. A lot of sets going to her, and you also saw how delayed the middle blocker of Indonesia was.
5-point lead once again for the team in blue. Good first ball there for Indonesia. Little confusion. Anarkulova did not get that over the net.
Anarkulova having a hard time with the set. You see, there are players like her who are used to low fast sets, and so they have more difficulty timing the higher sets.
Santi with the ace, a much needed one as they are down 3.
Back-to-back points, and right now we see that Indonesia is capable of making runs, but what has been giving them difficulty are their errors. So let's see if they pull off some consistency here.
The push works for Shoreshkina. Indonesia so far with 3 aces, Kazakhstan with 1. That's what's keeping them here in this match, but Shoreshkina so far been crafty at the net. 4-point lead.
Against Vietnam, it was team captain Anarkulova who really exploded with points, but this time for Kazakhstan, it is Shoreshkina. And we're also seeing a couple of names showing up here for Indonesia.
16-year-old Sabrina, the team captain, exploding, speaking of, with that massive swing. From behind. And Anarkulova likes the set better from the pipe. She puts it away.
Again, nothing fancy, just very efficient, high contact, and well targeted the area for that pipe attack.
So they maintain this 4-point lead. Shoreshkina on tap. That's going to drop in. See that ball drop all of a sudden, partner. Looked like it was going to sail out. But that spin on the ball, you'll see it here in slow-mo. See that spin? It's not a dead ball, so the spin guides it down as Santi avoids it, thinking it would sail out.
Semua mengarah ya, servis ke Santi. Santi nggak usah ini, asal naik aja. Oke? San, pede lagi ya? Bisa, ayo, masih bisa. Ya? Oke? Risi bagus naik, serang, mati langsung. Oke? Baru kita mikir bertahan. Ya? Yuk. Indonesia!
Biggest lead of the match was at 6 earlier for Kazakhstan, who are 1-1. They won over Singapore and then lost to Vietnam, as my partner mentioned yesterday. Indonesia lost to Hong Kong and then won versus Singapore. Yesterday, as we of course play every day here at the 2024 AVC Challenge Cup for Women. It's a good set. And that's a touch. The scrape of the net from Anarkulova.
Anarkulova hoping she could
get away with it.
That's right. And the face after.
Look at her run from the scene of the crime. That is caught there by Hawa. Another one, a chance here for Indonesia. The slide is denied by Anarkulova. Dig pass to the other side. And number 18, Putri Agustin, squeezes it through the block.
It is the same names for Indonesia who's been scoring so far in the set. Si Sabrina, Santi, and right now Putri Agustin, top 3 scorers against Singapore.
Team captain, 16-year-old Sabrina, serving. Anarkulova, nobody home. She saw that spot a mile away.
Also some miscommunication on the defense pattern of Indonesia. You see, like there's a big gap in between the blockers, and the floor defender in zone 6 did not adjust to bridge that gap between the blockers.
Right over the blockers, nobody touched it. I think the coach, Lilipali, will challenge this for a block touch. I don't know, I thought that was very high, but
for block touch.
Indonesia obviously trying to go for the high hands on that attack. But we will see if there was any block touch. You're looking at Team Indonesia, as my partner mentioned earlier. Not the same team that went to the finals, not fully the same team that went to the finals against Vietnam last year in their home, because the AVC Challenge Cup for women was held in Indonesia.
Meanwhile, Kazakhstan did not even participate in last year's AVC Challenge Cup, but they did qualify for the 2022 FIVB Challenger Cup, where they finished 7th in that tournament. As we take a look at this
It was too high.
video replay,
Putri Agustin tried to go high hands over number 7 Yakimova, but it was very high.
you know the intention is really hit high, especially because Kazakhstan has really been having a good blocking performance here in the first set.
5-point lead. From behind, that is sent to the net by Sabrina.
Attack here.
And the problem continues to plague Indonesia. Their offense is a bit disorganized right now.
23 serving.
You see how intimidated they are with the blockers of Kazakhstan.
Sent back. Putri Agustin had nowhere to go, as Yakimova says, no entry.
Again, the game plan of Kazakhstan has been working for them. Load up on your serves, eliminate the middles in the play, and the double block of Kazakhstan has really been working so well for them.
Rara will open up a shoot set. Does not work, but they will get a giveaway, or so it seemed. Awa. Way underneath the ball was Janaida Santi, which means Kazakhstan will take set number 1 over Team Indonesia, courtesy of this attack error from 16-year-old Janaida Santi. Both teams at 1-1, so a lot to play for here in the AVC. But lost to Vietnam itong Kazakhstan in the second day. Earlier today, Singapore losing to Hong Kong in 3 sets. So that sets up what we have here in this game between Indonesia and Kazakhstan. Match number 14. 15 will be Australia versus India. India, of course, suffering its first loss yesterday. And Australia and India, that will be a great matchup after this. A lot of volleyball still to come, and a gift to start set number 2.
You see the server Anarkolova targeting Santi to really eliminate her from her game. She did display very good game against Singapore, but right now she's silenced by the Kazakhstan team.
Open to Santi. Delayed by the block. The push is not good enough. As the young net defense of Santi and Rara able to send that back.
Great timing there by the blockers. And, I think that point is going to be awarded to Santi.
This is how she started. Talking about Shoreskina.
Shoreskina, she did score I think 6 points off the bench in that game against Vietnam, but definitely has surpassed that output against Indonesia today.
That is out.
Yakimova giving away a free point. Against Vietnam, we saw how big of a factor their middles are, talking about Yakimova and Anikonova. But so far in this game, it's been a Shoreskina show for Kazakhstan.
Counter-attack from the pipe. Ooh, and that was a very good one. Yeah, Junaida Santi again brushing off number 22's Bikisheva, the libero of Kazakhstan. Looking up at the arms there.
Not the most emphatic kill, but it was efficient, talking about that earlier pipe hit, but this time that service error. So you see the inconsistency also. We've already built her up as someone with such high potential and someone Indonesian volleyball is really relying on as their future in volleyball. But she has a lot to learn also, and she's definitely going to learn from the likes of Bilchenko.
Yeah, and a young squad like this, that's exactly why they're here, and that's exactly why they're sent to... and we expect errors and inconsistencies. Putri Agustin goes cross. What a smart play! Smart play by Kuznetsova. Setter sending it to the back line.
The first set, she did attempt to do a 1-2 play, but it was well defended by Indonesia, and this time targeting the end line. Great scouting by Kuznetsova.
That's another great spot. Identified. Zone 5 corner. Good for, of course, Shoreskina.
And this is what you want Indonesia to learn also from the more experienced squads like Kazakhstan. Yung really hitting smart. I mean, you know that they're a taller lineup, but they still continue to hit more efficiently, targeting the end zones and avoiding the blockers.
Woo! Second ball put away once again by Kuznetsova.
Kuznetsova, she scored 4 points against Vietnam, and this time 2 points already for her.
And an early timeout here by Coach Lilipali.
Receive udah naik, ya. Oke, receive naik. Yang samping-samping harus membunuh. Ya, sikat aja udah, jangan ini. Kecuali kalau bolanya nggak bagus, kita selamatkan. Kan gitu kan dia. Ayo, kita mati-mati sendiri. Yuk ya, bisa. Kurangi kesalahan. Yuk, kurangi kesalahan ya. Yuk. bisa yuk, jangan jauh-jauh.
Meron na siya! Ayan, bisa!
Early deficit for Team Indonesia, Kazakhstan. They don't want to play around with their food, so to speak. They have a 1-set lead and a 4-point lead here early in the second. Received by Santi. They're really targeting Santi over and over again, partner. Shureskina again. This one is wide.
Ball is out.
So far, Kazakhstan having that question to commit these errors.
Now
But
serving
for
Laura
Indonesia, that's what they
Tiganya.
need to avoid because they've been playing catch-up the whole game so far.
That's a net error by Rara. That's the middle blocker, Rara. Namira, Rara. There are two of them there.
Hina serving.
So 8-4. Choreskina gets us going here. That will sail out. But she's been doing that, right, Mela? That's what she's really targeting, that end line. And hoping that that ball would drop again.
I was gonna say her serve is a bit of a hybrid between a floater and a spin serve. But those kinds of serve, they really land right on the line. But unfortunately for her, it sailed out. But Anarkulova will get the point back after that hit.
Narkulova, as my partner mentioned, coming off a 21-point performance against Vietnam. They had only two players there in double figures. Yakimova was the other one. And on the verge was Anikomova with 9. An ad-lib play was sent back here. Back to Indonesia. That's a better attack, but good digging there. Good defense here. Oh! And it turns into a point for Team Kazakhstan.
You did mention how Kazakhstan has been targeting Santi since the start of this game, and this is what happens. You know, she gets out of focus when she continues to commit errors after being targeted almost all the time by all the players of Kazakhstan.
Ooh, miscommunication and an easy point for Team Kazakhstan. With now scoring their 11th point, so that will match the biggest lead of the match. They had a 6-point lead earlier in the first set. Now it's 6 again at 11-5 with Anikomova.
So far, nothing going right on the side of Indonesia. They've just been relying on the errors of Kazakhstan.
Another try, and this time good for Putri Agustin.
Very relentless on that last attempt. And she got blocked the first time, not stopping and trying to power through against the very tall blockers of Kazakhstan.
That's good serve, but received well by Kazakhstan. From the pipe. Dug by Bekisheva. Free ball for Indonesia. Rara goes open to Santi. Santi might have taken off a bit early, but it worked. That mishit scoring a point.
And Santi with a sigh of relief after. She seemed like she towered above the blockers. And even the defenders were fooled. I think there was a net infraction on her landing.
Of Santi. Oh, not able. So she scraped the net on her way down.
So the sigh of relief was for that. Not a sigh of relief, like just a sigh.
A regretful sigh that she scraped the net. She'll try again here. Set back by the block. Great press. Great technique on the block, but this time she goes to the left side of Yakinova's hands.
Gotta love how she maintains that full approach. Look at her go. She got blocked the first time, and the second time she still went on with a full swing, even with the adjustment mid-air.
Belchenko will move out for Nikitina. Will come in for Team Kazakhstan, who are up 12-7. Slide attack. Doug. Opposite attack there by Sabrina. And a great block on Arakulova. And it will be Tegariani Rara who will get the credit there. Namira Tegariani.
Good timing by the double block of Indonesia. Actually, they've been having good timing, but it's the penetration of their hands where the Kazakhstan players have been getting their points.
Scramble for that one. And Team Blue will get their 13th point and a 5-point lead here in set number 2. Reception error there by Putri Agustin as they left their setter Rara scrambling for the second ball. Biggest lead matched here at 6.
Aces are where Indonesia found an advantage. The only advantage that they had in that set 1 stats. But this time, I think even on that department.
Ooh. Oh, what a job there by Hawa, their libero. That will be...
Ball is out.
Oh, I thought it was a block touch. No touch. It's just an attack error from Kazakhstan. Cut the lead down to 5. No protest from the Kazakh coach.
Nikitina, that's actually the first combination play Kazakhstan tried to pull off today, but it will be unsuccessful. They still have a very comfortable lead right now.
Good attack by Shioreskina.
Through the ball, Zana.
That time around, no need for combination play. Just pure power by the lefty, Shioreskina. Let's take a look at that again. Great elevation, targeting the outer hand of the smaller blocker.
This is Yakimova getting us going for this rally. Bump set to Santi. Santi over the blockers. Counter attack there by Nikitina. Back to Nikitina for the second time, and this time she scores.
Nikitina did not see action against Vietnam, but this time back-to-back points, or back-to-back sets rather, going to her, and she's been converting so far off the bench.
That's gonna drop in. No spin.
To my point earlier, even in the serving department, Kazakhstan has taken over that advantage put up by Indonesia in the first set.
Right on the line.
Tanchado eh.
Number 7, Yakimova comes up short on the second serve, but they have some distance. They had an 8-point lead. That was the biggest lead of the match already.
Serving for Indonesia, Junaida Santi.
Santi goes for the jump. Dug by Rara. Putri Agustin goes over the blockers. One-hand dig there by Becky Sheva.
Into the net.
And Narkulova unable to get it through.
Again, those high pipe sets continues to be a problem for Narkulova. Could be from the positioning angle. But nonetheless, the 2 times she's been set up with a high set, she was unable to convert. But
Nikitina though, off the bench, partner.
The conversion of Nikitina, I think she's 3 on 4 right now. Let's look at the efficiency. High contact and really going to that area where there was the delayed blocker.
Serving is Tatiana Nikitina.
Dig pass to Putri Agustin. Off a deflection. Shioreskina with the angle. And Putri Agustin could not handle the heat of that cross-court attack.
And both wing hitters pounding on the cross-court attacks.
Sana Shioreskina. Santi not ready, I think, for that one. And Coach Lilipali looking at his bench and looking to dispatch Nita Sesanti
Substitution Indonesia,
For
16, Nita in.
Junaida Santi.
For Santi, whether she's ready or not, the game plan really
20,
is
serving 11.
to silence her today, and so far Kazakhstan has pulled that off.
High dig pass. Oh, nobody home. Gallant effort there by Hawa. Nur Fitria. Hawa with a chase. Ran out of space. Timeout Indonesia.
Main volley itu yo harus apa ya? Jangan cepat menyerah, harus ini loh semangat lagi ya. Yuk ya.
Ayo kak, ayo kak, ayo kak.
Ayo yang pede, kesempatan loh. Ini lawan ini kan kesempatan kita. Main bagus, jangan main jelek ya. Ayo, ayo, ayo.
Indonesia jaya.
Substitution for Indonesia.
Back to the action here between Kazakhstan and Indonesia. More substitutes coming for Coach Lilipali. This one is Chelsea Berliana. And also for Team Kazakhstan, Nobergenova coming in for the first time. This girl off the bench, Tatiana Nikitina, has made an impact here in the second, giving them their biggest lead of the match at 10.
Still serving. Tatiana Nikitina.
Net serve.
Cutting the lead to just 9 points, but still a very big lead established by Kazakhstan, allowing the coach to field in more players from the bench.
Yeah, actually, they'll go back with the starter, Belchenko. Nikitina has done her job. Goes back to the bench. Belchenko back to the lineup. Misreceived. It's a good target there by Sabrina Agustina.
Sabrina, we haven't heard from her in a while, but this time trying to just cut the lead as to just as short as they can.
Good receive there by Becky Sheva, which sets up Fioreskina, and Fioreskina will score again.
The firepower of Kazakhstan just really too much for Indonesia to handle right now, and this girl on your screens, Fioreskina, has been very consistent since the start of this set. She's been the top scorer so far for Kazakhstan. Speaking of top scoring, she continues to do damage for Kazakhstan.
14 points, partner.
Her serves are really deadly. Like we said, it's sort of a hybrid serve and they're really loaded.
Look at that. Look at that.
Back-to-back aces from Fioreskina.
Leading the parade, leading all scorers with 15 today.
It's one thing to load up on your serves. It's another thing to really target the areas where the receivers will really move and have a hard time.
Another one. He's piling up the points, also giving them that second set with 3 straight aces and a 12-point win.
Very commanding win by Kazakhstan here in the second set, courtesy of those streak of points by Fioreskina.
Well, they consolidate their first set win. They are up 2-0 and are 1 set away from their second win here in the 2024 AVC Challenge Cup. You guys just made my day. Coliseum. Slowly, people filing in anticipation of later on Australia versus India and Philippines versus Iran. But the game at hand is match number 14, and it is between Kazakhstan and last year's finalists Indonesia, who are down 0-2 whole here in this match number 14.
Well, in the first set, Kazakhstan really established a very big lead, a commanding win, but they continued to improve that here in the second set and really erasing all sorts of advantage that Indonesia had and may have had there in the second set. They managed to force the coach to take out Santi after she's been targeted in the blocks and even the serves, but no one, or from the bench, no one really sparked and gave Indonesia that much needed boost. As we take a look at the stats, a much more improved attacking game by Kazakhstan, and they also had a better serving game, 6 aces, where they lacked 1 point to match the advantage of Indonesia in the first set. This time they doubled down on that department to really improve the score here in the second set, and even when Indonesia committed less errors, they still did not produce as much points needed to stay close to Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan was led by the 16 points of Zana Shoreshkina, girl on your screens, who was behind Anarkulova, their team captain there. 3 straight aces to win that second set. 16 points for her, and Anarkulova, the girl you saw earlier, following up with 5 points. On the other hand, Zenaida Santi with 5 points for Team Indonesia, and it is Sabrina with following up with 3 points, but obviously lacking in scoring here is Indonesia of the firepower of Kazakhstan so far.
You know what's alarming on the side of Indonesia? Santi scoring 5 points, but those 5 points really happened not close to each other. So they really need someone to carry the offensive load, because unlike their game last time where, Santi, even Sabrina really shared the scoring from offense, right now we really don't see that kind of performance on their side.
And credit goes to the Kazakhstan team, really, with their defense, making it hard for these Indonesian stars, young stars, to really get any kind of rhythm here. The height, the athleticism, the attacking, the serving came into play also. Defending, which is led by that girl on your screens, Becky Sheva, alternating with Sagimbayeva, the liberos of Team Kazakhstan. Indonesia, in the meantime, 1-1. As we mentioned, lost to Hong Kong, won versus Singapore. Kazakhstan 1-1, won over Singapore, lost to Vietnam. If they go to 2-1 in their pool, now we'll find out who will advance to the semifinals, because Hong Kong is also at 2-1. Boom Gonzalez, Carmela Tunay, watching us on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and on the Pilipinas Live app for the 2024 AVC Challenge Cup. Very important tournament, of course. The champion of this Challenge Cup gains entry into the FIVB Challenger Cup. And the champion in those tournaments earn a spot in the Volleyball Nations League. That is the bigger picture, of course. The Philippines will be hosting the 2024 FIVB Challenger Cup. So Philippines will automatically gain a spot in that tournament. So looking for another one among these 10 teams who are split into 2 pools. And then we go into the classification rounds for those who do not make the semifinals. In the meantime, set 3 is underway and we are tied at 1-1.
Sabrina showing up for Indonesia here with that very emphatic attack. We haven't seen her attack like that in a while after Kazakhstan has been putting up those walls against the attackers of Indonesia.
2-1. Very fast set there for Team Indonesia.
That time it was Putri Agustin.
Yeah.
So the familiar names who usually top scorers for Indonesia are now sort of awake here in the third set as we see Santi also back on the court.
Another answer there, as fast as the other gift earlier given. This one was a quick from Nikonova.
And Nikonova, on the other hand, really active on their last game. And so far in this game, I believe that was her first emphatic kill.
Oh, giveaway here to Team Kazakhstan. Running attack. Saved by Indonesia. And another overstep there from the pike by Janaida Santi. That's the second error of such kind for the youngster.
And those are some of the things that she'll learn to develop as she goes. The court sense also, where those lines are
It's
when
not
she goes
easy,
for the hits.
partner? It looks easy on TV, but you have to remember the ones who execute that very well, from regardless of any team or at any level, whether it's college, international, or whatever club, they do that repeatedly, time and time and time again.
A lot of repetitions to really master where on which part of the court you are in. And sometimes those who really master, they know where the line is. They would adjust their foot on the last step just so they don't commit those errors.
Dug by the captain. Shiraskina puts it away. She continues to pile up the points. She apologizes also to the Indonesian setter.
Just look at that. There are two blockers in front of her, but they sort of forgot she's a lefty. So there's a big opening on her left side.
Some really nice sportsmanship being shown by a lot of the countries here that are playing. We've seen it throughout the 3 days so far. Here we are at day number 4, and Kazakhstan building a 4-point lead.
Shirishkina running out of words to describe the type of game she's been putting up here for Kazakhstan.
Good job again this time. That was Sagimbayeva saving that play. The dive will go out.
Kuznetsova was actually there to defend, but just a couple of steps to miss the right position for the defense.
So this will be credited to Putri Agustin.
You also see Chelsea, the middle blocker on the floor right now for Indonesia.
20 points already for Zana Joreskina. She really was the one who started off the scoring. She started early in the first set, and she is continuing that momentum. She goes on tap to serve now. And she has a lethal serve too, obviously.
For
Those who just joined
Indonesia,
us.
they even added their tallest player on the floor already. He's out now after that serve, but still, the players of Indonesia are unable to put up their blocking patterns against Shirishkina. Imagine 20 points unanswered by the blocks.
Simple play there. Anarkulova with a high ball. Good swing for her. High second ball. She goes down the line. Opens zone 1.
Kazakhstan right now playing simple and efficient volleyball.
8-3. Another loaded serve. Handled by Hawa. Anarkulova, dig pass to Shoreskina from behind. Santi digging. Putri Agustin will get the point on that one.
Good read by the players of Indonesia, letting that ball go.
Eight 4. So the team captain Anarkulova will move out, and it is Noberganova coming in for her. Santi with a dig. Rara sends it to Putri Agustin. Shoreskina was there. That one is out for Nurbergenova.
Just like in the first set, it is the editors of Kazakhstan allowing Indonesia to stay at bay. It's a 3-point ball game.
Sabrina Agustina sends it over. Kuznetsova sends it to Nurbergenova. Block. Gets through. Putri Agustin scores again.
Putri Agustin really powering through that double block. Very tall double block of Kazakhstan. Good adjustment from her also after that offset.
Chance for Indonesia here. And a scrape of the net. A net touch violation on Kazakhstan. This is the closest partner Indonesia has gotten to them. So it will force Coach Rishat for a timeout.
Смотри направление, какое есть здесь. Линейка у них приоткрыта. Помнишь, да? Здесь работать можно. Отведенный мяч повнимательнее. Возможно, длинная диагональ. Хорошо? Или вот то, что Жанна делала, обман внутри. Либо короткий хотел. Хорошо? Остальное нападай смело. Не прямо перед собой что играть. Да, поехали с приема.
Number 33 in the world. The FIVB World Rankings. Kazakhstan. They are the highest ranked team in the tournament. And this is the closest that Indonesia has gotten to them in a while, since the first set. Chance to tie here for Agustina Sabrina. Nurbergenova. It's a good slide attempt there to draw a blocker.
Nurbergenova, she was struggling earlier, but right now finding the groove off the bench. Finally scoring with that very powerful hit.
2-point lead. Santi again having problems there. She continues to get overloaded. Kuznetsova, run and gun is sent back. Kuznetsova opens up to Nurbergenova, and she will score.
Great effort by Fanny to close out the gap on their double block, but again, the penetration of the blocker's hands, that's where the Kazakhstan players are having an advantage in getting those points.
Ooh, what a solid swing by Putri Agustin.
Really twisting in mid-air. I was even gonna say the blockers are there already. It will be easy for them to block that hit. But what a talent. She's firing up right now.
Lead is down to 2. Gets through. From the pipe, Shureskina puts it away.
Shureskina really came to play against Indonesia today. Since the start of the first set, it's been her all throughout.
Only 6 points in the previous match, but as you know, partner, in a tournament like this where it's every day, it is nice for teams to get different output from different players in different games. Nurbergenova this time underneath the ball.
You spot some inconsistency on the side of Kazakhstan when they're setting up Nurbergenova. And this is the closest set so far in all the 3 sets that they've played.
I was about to say, Nurbergenova looks like a youngster out there among the Kazakh team. Well, she is the youngest at 24. At 20 years old. Just turned 20. Set back. Reverse. Dug by Shureskina. Kuznetsova will go back to her. And she fires one in the hole.
The scoring doesn't stop for Shureskina. It's really the setter looking for her, whether she's in the front row or the back row.
22 points, partner.
Very consistent. Look at that.
her day-to-day here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum.
A complete package for her offense. She knows how to target. She knows how to power up on those spikes, how to score off when there are established blockers. A very lethal offensive weapon for Kazakhstan.
Looking at Yakimova, getting ready to receive here. Received by Shoreskina. Kuznetsova over to Yakimova. Fingertip mishit. And their captain, Anarkulova, is getting ready to come back for the 20-year-old youngster from Kazakhstan. That's Perizat Noberganova.
Anarkulova getting injected back in to serve that balance, because Kazakhstan has been scoring, but they've also been committing a lot of errors. Now they need the discipline of their top player.
That's a great set by Kuznetsova. Look at this. Really fooling the blockers there. Everybody loading on the left pin. She shoots into the right. Too low. You mentioned the errors.
These unforced errors have been eliminating the advantage that their attacks have set up for their team.
12 serving 13. Handled very well there. Oof. Good dig there. And a counter by Putri Agustin. Bekisheva. Anarkulova sends it over. They go to the other side. Good reaction there by Putri Agustin.
Ooh.
Oh! Haha! And we're all tied up at 13.
Very unexpected error by the libero, Bekisheva,
yeah.
who's been doing a good job throughout this game. And of course, her team captain, Anarkulova. Two players who are expected to really, take charge when it comes to floor defense. Ooh.
And Indonesia takes over the lead off a jump serve from Santi.
This is the first time in this game that they have overtaken the lead, and Kazakhstan's coach isn't happy. They're going to call for a timeout.
Is that the second timeout already for Kazakhstan this set? Second there.
Ничего, девки, с голосом. Давай.
Этот мяч забираешь? Хорошо. До конца. Давай, поехали.
Давай. Эй!
Bekisheva shaking her head, very disappointed with the last couple of plays. She missed out on one and had an error on the other. And Indonesia takes the lead at 14-13. Remember, they lost the second set by 12. They had the biggest lead of 6 in the first set. Talking about Team Kazakhstan. Shoreskina is back. Oh, that's a great effort by Indonesia, but Santi wasting it. She knew it as soon as she hit the ball, partner.
These are the decisions that some youngsters really go for.
Everything happening so fast. She wanted to go jump and then she didn't. Santi continues to receive the ball on the other end. That's going to go out. So good timeout there by Coach Rishat. As they score and get 2 points back and are in the lead 15-14. You're looking at Sagimbayeva.
Kazakhstan.
Very tight, very tight.
They cut the momentum. Indonesia built right away.
Return to sender.
And the 3 straight points for Kazakhstan.
And Kazakhstan just towering over Sabrina there. This will be credited to Anikonova.
When they get challenged, they stick back to their core, which are attacking and blocking.
No check, says our first referee, our up referee, but there will be a challenge from the Indonesian side here.
for ball touch. Challenge, ball touch.
A third set that is up for grabs here. Indonesia trying to extend their lives here in this matchup, while Kazakhstan wanting to finish this off in straight sets. Let's look at this sequence. There was a block touch. Good challenge there by the Indonesian coach. Our referees, of course, our up referee Mahinder Singh Saharan. And George Chatub, our down referee. 16-15, our score. And giving away a point after taking it via the challenge.
This has also been one of the biggest challenges on the side of Indonesia, really maintaining any sort of momentum that they could build with getting those points. You know, sometimes they score off from big points, but they throw it off away. Luckily for them, they get it back with the service error from Shrishkina as well.
Tightest set so far here. The third, the level of Kazakhstan, the highest ranked team in this 10-team pool, has gone down a bit here in the third. Indonesia trying to take advantage. Anarkulova sends it over, and that drops in.
Anarkulova, you see how she's still restricting herself from those usual powerful hits. All she's been doing this afternoon so far are those targeted hits. But it's been working well for her. She must be a little bit exhausted, partner, in that Vietnam match where she scored 21 points. Could be two things: exhausted and reserving energy for
the finish
later games. That's right.
Nice exchange here that ends with a Kuznetsova second ball put away, with the appreciation from the Philippine crowd here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Look at this flight by Santi and the trickery by Kuznetsova.
It's the elevation and the power that Santi hit, but still the tricks of Kuznetsova working well.
Sani, in the meantime, gets it through the block off a quick attack.
Finally, there's involvement also from the middles of Indonesia. It took 3 sets for Fanny to get set up.
Anarkulova. Back to the captain, who puts it away.
You see the adjustment of Kuznetsova. The earlier set was actually a bit short, and the blockers were established, and so on that second attempt, she set it a bit further, closer to the antenna, so that the blockers would be left on getting to close out her attack.
That was a perfect angle also on the replay to see how she executed that cut down the line for her 8th point, by the way, here in the match. Shoot to the back, and that's going to go through. That's a point anyway. Net touch by Kazakhstan, and nobody taking or missing the ball there. Look at this. That's a great set by Rara.
Also, Sabrina has been attacking from that side of the court and being successful also from those back row hits.
High ball from Kuznetsova, the swipe attempt there. Santi, no swiping there. It's back to Indonesia. They're going to go back, obviously, to Junaida. Off a deflection, off a rebound. Indonesia with another attempt. Santi will pour it on. Shrishkina keeps it up. This will make it. Back to Junaida. And she puts it away. Look at the reaction from the crowd at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum.
Naida Santi unfazed by the defense of Kazakhstan. I believe that was her 4th attempt. But you have to credit the efforts of Shurushkina and the rest of the Kazakhstan players.
This is her 8th point, by the way, of the match. 19-20. They have a chance here. Shurushkina stopping that ball. Denied!
The momentum finally swinging back again to Indonesia to
Look at
the
the
delight of their coach.
Coach Lily Pali celebrating that monster block. And the crowd here in the Rizal Memorial Coliseum, Mela, obviously rooting for the Southeast Asian neighbors.
That's right, also serving as the underdogs in this game.
Somebody should make a meme out of this one. Please do. Please do. Kuznetsova shoots it to the captain with a hit out.
With so much
21-20.
experience, this is what you get also, just knowing how to score. Very simple. We've really echoed that throughout this game. Anarkulova just knowing how to get those points under her belt.
Team captain gets us going for this rally. Sandy.
And the monster is now awake.
9 points for the high leaping Janaida Santi.
Earlier, we've been seeing a lot of monster blocks against her, but now she counters with a monster spike. Talking about Junaida Santi. Really hoping to extend this game, but
That is
those
expensive.
errors.
That is an expensive one for Rara.
Again, the challenge remains. It's really maintaining those momentum that they try to build.
Santi from the right pin this time. Santi will try again. What a block! Oh! And Sabrina could not control her momentum. She hangs on to the net for dear life. The youngster gives away the 23rd point. Look at the reaction here. I think, there was somebody underneath that really just, it was their libero. That was Hawa that distracted her. Timeout Indonesia.
Bisa itu, ya. Receive naik dulu. Poin. Receive naik, poin. Receive dulu naik. Poin.
Obviously, that's a timeout just to halt this momentum of the Kazakhstan team, who are 2 points away from their second victory here in the Challenge Cup, the AVC Challenge Cup. Yakimova will do the honors. Sharp serve. Yakimova receiving. It's back to Indonesia. They don't go to Santi. A soft hit there by Sabrina. Sabrina sends it back, or was it Rara?
Rara Tagariani. You love to see any sort of involvement or contributions from your middles.
Yeah, the right hand of Namira Tegriani. Rara.
Luckily, this girl had hang time because she was actually facing Sabrina for that block.
Chance here for Indonesia, down 1. Still alive, still playable. Doug. Shurushkina has been the thorn on the side of Indonesia.
We haven't heard from her in a while, just a very short while, but I say that because throughout this game, you've heard their names scoring relentlessly for Kazakhstan, and this time really using the hands of the blockers to get that point.
23 points and match point for Team Kazakhstan. And they do it on defense, sending the ball back as Kazakhstan wins their second match of the 2024 AVC Challenge Cup. I like the attitude of Coach Lili Pali of Team Indonesia, still applauding and the efforts of his young team, knowing that this will all be part of a learning experience for them, going up against the number 33 ranked team in the world.
Definitely, and also giving Kazakhstan such a good fight, especially here in the third set. Their coaches really proud of how they performed, especially in that set number 3. But for Kazakhstan, we did mention how there was this one player who remained consistent throughout the game and has posed the biggest threat, especially on the offense side. 19 attacks and even scored consecutive aces, 3 consecutive, but
на этом как бы вести игру до конца и все.
Firstly, coach told us to fix the concentration, to not to relax, because we need the time and just to have concentration in this situation.
Now, you lost your last game versus Vietnam, Zana. Now, for this one, you gain your momentum back. How will you prepare for tomorrow against Hong Kong?
Но будем слушать концентрацию тренера, то, что какие остановки он указал, и будем работать с каждым днем, чтобы все было лучше и лучше.
We will follow the tactics of our head coach. I think he has own plan for Hong Kong, and we will try to do the best. And we need to support our fans from here.
Thank you, Miss Anelia. Thank you, Zana. Again, congrats on the win. Back to you, Woman Mela.
Thank you very much, Baileys. And speaking of fans, they are gaining fans with the kind of play that they're showing here in the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. So that's going to be a crucial game for them. Partner at Hong Kong tomorrow, who is 2-1. Kazakhstan tomorrow, they will be at 2-1. And just so our fans watching on our coverage in Pilipinas Live and One Sports and One Sports Plus can get a better picture of what we're talking about here in terms of the wins and the losses, we will show you an updated standing of Pool B and what's going on there, because again, what they're fighting for is the crossover single game semifinals.
Well, you see Vietnam still on the lead after winning their first 3 games, but Kazakhstan, after the win today, also keeping their hopes alive to go over to the next round. But Hong Kong, we're also gonna watch out for their games, their remaining games here in the prelims.
Well, actually, that game tomorrow between the two of them will be a big one for to find out who will move on to the crossover semifinals from Pool B. All right, 2 matches down, 2 more to go here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum. Later tonight, Philippines versus Iran. But before that, an exciting match between Australia and India. And you can all watch it here at the Rizal Memorial Coliseum, or for those watching on TV on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app. For Pamela Tunay, Feliz Acon, I'm Boom Gonzalez. Keep watching the 2024 AVC Challenge Cup for Women right from Manila, Philippines.